Well, hello, my beautiful Taurians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations, so if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, I've just brought back the competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So with that in mind, let's get straight to your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Taurians, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading is going to tap into what you're moving through at this moment in time and of course what lies on the other side. Now, before I even start, I'm seeing a number in the water. Unusual to get a number straight away, but I'm seeing 0909, okay? And I'm being given this energy of brighter things to come. So I want you to be aware of that. You may see this synchronistically a lot over the next coming weeks and months there. Whenever you see it, look it up and see what its meaning is in that moment because it will have a specific message for you. But, you know, overall, it tends to mean that there is like a light at the end of the tunnel, but look out for that number because it's something that you will be seeing quite soon if you're not seeing it already. So let's get to your cards and see what's going on there. Already we have the Hierophant as your starting position. So a lot of you are trying to prioritize your own needs, learn more about yourself, and focus on structure. So I will get to the rest of your cards in a moment. We have the Six of Swords. It's crossing you. So you may have been tested. Either your patience has been tested or perhaps you have felt tested yourself in life in general. You're about to pass that test. I want you to be aware of that. But also, for some of you, it can be that you are trying to escape structure of some sort. I mean, we all need life to be structured in some way to keep it running smoothly. But you may feel like you're locked into some sort of routine or habit or, you know, you're dreaming of a great getaway, or you're trying to move or relocate, or you're just trying to evolve, learn more about yourself, your needs, and not, you know, forget yourself, as it were, or neglect your personal development or your personal needs. But on the earthly plane position, we have the Ten of Swords. Now, this can mean you're at capacity right now, that you have a lot on your mind, certainly a lot on your to-do list, but it can also indicate that you're deep in thought, okay? Thoughts regarding a time where you feel someone has let you down, betrayed you, or perhaps you have been trying to really focus on quietening the inner critic to conquer intrusive thoughts at this time. But I will tap into that. I mean, the Ten of Swords on the earthly plane position indicates you're in a very cerebral position right now. You're soul searching, especially with that moon energy. Now, also, because the Ten of Swords is there, I would say, you know, a lot of you feel a little bit detached or on autopilot. You're running your life to such a high degree that it just feels like second nature at this moment in time. You're navigating plot twists. We have that Wheel of Fortune, so better luck coming on in for you because that's in the near future position. I want you to be aware of that. But some of you may feel And again, this may not resonate with all of you, of course. I have to honor the cards that pop out, the energy that is flowing, and, take what resonates, leave the rest behind, and never try to make anything fit if it really doesn't. But what I see here is with the moon, the Ten of Swords, the Hierophant, this can be a lot of soul searching, okay? And it can feel at times that you're, yes, locked onto your goals, your dreams, and all of that stuff, and you're doing life, but the deeper part of you, it can be that you're feeling a little bit lost or a little bit uncertain about the way, because the moon is present in your reading there. And I actually see that you're not lost. I see that you're in a very uncomfortable state where your old self is undergoing a transformation. And that's so that your new self can be reborn. You're in between, as it were. So it can be that you're outgrowing a lot of things, decluttering, distancing yourself, withdrawing from people, situations that no longer hold, a connection in your life. People you're outgrowing, evolving away from. Perhaps, you've gone through a lot of challenge. You're trying to overcome that, distance yourself from that so you don't repeat a cycle. There could be a lot of energy here where, as well, you have that Page of Swords. You may have been in a very hyper-vigilant state, fight or flight mode, or trauma response in some way, where you've experienced something that really changed you, right at the core of you right now. And you're coming to grips with that, coming to terms with that. Because for some of you, like, the Ten of Swords can be, an end of an old way of living, or an end of a perception, for example, or some of you may be grieving like a part of yourself that you feel like you've lost touch with, or you feel life has changed and something feels a little bit void right now. But I see that you are trying to, reignite that spark, that lust for life, that joie de vivre, and, really connect with your surroundings. But in order to really, be involved in things that bring you a lot of joy, you of course have to filter out the stuff that is not connecting with you right now. So, I feel like you are secure. I want you to be aware of that. You actually have a Knight of Cups here and a Knight of Pentacles. So this can indicate you're working really hard to invest in your life, be in the flow, of course, and, take action in life, as opposed to feel stagnant and stuck and kind of feeling like it's just the same old day, same old outcome. It just feels like you're trying to do something different, or you're trying to react to it in a different way. But the first card there is the Hierophant, and it is a Taurian card, so it indicates you're trying to prioritize your own needs in a world that demands your attention and your focus, and you're like, either you've neglected your own needs, or you just haven't had time to connect to what you really need at the very core of you. The Hierophant also indicates you are focused on your life philosophy, your belief system, the structure of how you live life. And for some of you, that Six of Swords, I feel like you're moving away from a certain structure, or you're trying to, but you're in between worlds, because the Six of Swords is to move on from something, but it's in a crossing position. So you read the reverse of it as well. So it's like you're not quite there yet, but you're nearly there. So it can be that, you're well on your way to wherever you feel is a destination point. For some of you, that Hierophant can represent structures in society, for example, and you may feel like you're outgrowing a certain neighborhood, or perhaps you're like witnessing people who are in positions of authority, and you are kind of like looking at how you feel about those connections or investments. You may be rethinking, your alignment with certain affiliations in your life, with you agree with their policies, rules, and regulations anymore, or if you're not, like, you're distancing yourself, because this is a card of like passed down structures. So this can be like, for example, society, and for some of you, you may feel that society has lost its way, for example, because Six of Swords, especially in a crossing position, it feels like things are drifting right now. And you're like, how did we get to this point? And you may be looking at how it affects you and how it, creates fear or anxiety. And it can be that you're contemplating, how it reflects back to you and your circumstances, and whether you're secure in these changes that are going on. You may fear that there's plot twists and turns to come in the future. And you just want to know, are you on the right path? Are you secure? I mean, the outcome energy tells me yes. You have a Four of Pentacles there. So that means that, you are upgrading your life, but not just in terms of finances and lifestyle choices, in terms of your connection with your higher self. Because then, you can understand that this door is locked, and then suddenly a portal of opportunity unlocks for you. Now, this can be literally opportunity, better luck to come for you. For some of you, this could be love with that Knight of Cups and that Knight of Pentacles there, to feel secure in a relationship or a friendship. But ultimately, the Hierophant is you doing a lot of questioning, and also this is a card of, tradition. So it can be that, you are thinking about your traditions, your belief system, and reinforcing things and perhaps outgrowing situations as well. You may be even like looking at your own personal legacy, because this is a card of legacy. It literally says there, tradition, legacy, and society. Oh, I didn't realize it actually says society, but this card actually means that. So it can be, for some of you, you're thinking about moving to a more rural environment. Maybe you're distancing yourself from society. Perhaps, if you live in the city, for example, there is a very fast-paced hustle and bustle that is palatable for a certain period of time until you start to evolve and outgrow it. Perhaps you're trying to silence the noise right now in your life and distance yourself. Doesn't always have to be about a relocation. But the Six of Swords indicates something feels really testing right now. And this can literally be rules, regulations, policies, how everything has increased in price, for example. It just feels like society is shut down in some way and is not fostering growth for people who are working really hard to build a life, build a legacy. So a lot of you can be questioning all of these things right now and feeling a little bit on the fence, but also a little bit hesitant as to where this is all going. Because this is a card of journey. Six of Swords is going somewhere, and you may feel like you're not sure where this is all going, where it's leading to. You just want to know that you're secure, you and your family are safe. For some of you, this could also be, it literally means your commitments, okay, this card. So it can be that you're looking at your commitments right now and you feel a sense of responsibility and you're showing up for yourself day by day. But the Six of Swords is an energy of like, sometimes you just want to be somewhere else, okay? And it can be that you want to be in a calmer environment. You feel tested by all the structure that's going on in your life right now, or even, the amounting pressures building, or everything seems to be like moving the goalpost right now, and you're being really flexible. But this card indicates you will come through this testing time. If you're going through a testing time, it can just be that you're learning more about yourself and you're wanting to evolve or upgrade your life in some way. And it feels like it's a hard slog, that you're under a lot of pressure. There's anxiety there. There's always a test. It's like, why does it have to be so hard? But I feel like you're going to come through it. It says here, transition, leaving behind and moving on. And I feel like you are evolving towards a destination that you want to be at. Swords are all about the mind, so it can be as well education, learning. You're learning as you evolve, and you're taking certain lessons with you. And if you've been through a very challenging past, because we have the moon in the past position, so something has triggered a soul-searching kind of element there, where you've either gone through dark night of the soul, or you've felt very uncertain about the path ahead, felt a little bit of anxiety, really felt tested. And for some of you, this can be that you've been tested financially because you have a Ten of Pentacles in your, potential position there. So this means that you, your family, secure, building wealth, building a legacy. A lot of you could be literally looking at structures right now. The Hierophant and the Ten of Pentacles can be generational wealth. These could be things that are on your mind right now, but ultimately I feel like you just want to do your sense of purpose and move forward and create a life where you feel stable, where you feel safe, to open up to friendships, to blossom. And if you feel like you've been tested in those areas, I feel like you are now prioritizing your own needs in order to bring a little bit more balance to the situation in order to, move forward. Now, the Six of Swords indicates that you may not feel like it right now, but you are turning a corner for the better, that things are going to be like, this is literally the light at the end of the tunnel, right? That's kind of like a tunnel entrance, as it were, upwards towards the sun. So I feel that you're overcoming an obstacle. And for some of you, this could be that you've been under a lot of pressure, especially since we have the Ten of Swords there. Now, Ten of Swords can be a separation. especially since we've got the Hierophant there, high-level commitment, and you may have been sorting through some challenging emotions regarding that, and it can be a real breakdown of, I want to say thought forms, because it's like, where did the love go? How did things get to this? How do I move on from this? And it doesn't have to be a romantic connection. It can be like a friendship or, an alliance or someone who was like long-term in your life, something that was stable and true or had a structure, or it's like something you knew, like the familiar. It feels with that Ten of Swords, something is different. Everything has changed and now you're changed because of it. I also see this Ten of Swords as an energy of the structure you once knew. So this could be that you're lamenting a part of your life that you feel has changed or you feel you've lost touch with, and it just feels like you're detached. It's like you're not that same person anymore. You're so different. And, there can be a lament, a sadness, a sorrow that comes with this. I mean, the Ten of Swords is a challenging card, okay? But it means that the only way is up. There is a positive spin on it or reflection on it where you indicate, or you are aware of, shall I say, that, you're putting an end to an old way of doing something. This card can literally be that, yes, you've been through something challenging and you're not going to repeat that cycle. You're not going to revisit it. So it means you're very clear that that path was not for you, or that that person is not for you. You are detaching, shutting down, or literally closing a door or a chapter to something in your life that was painful or you felt betrayed or let down in. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there because this is on the earthly plane position right now. So whatever you're going through, whether it is, you feel you're so different or so changed that part of you is like, well, who am I? You're doing a lot of soul searching, or you feel that a part of you've lost touch with that person, or perhaps, the life you once knew has changed in some way. And you're just like going over thoughts about how hard it is now, and, perhaps how, you felt very uncertain, but you're going to be shown that you're stable, secure. So for example, this can be applied in many different ways. For some of you, you could have just had a child, right? And that means, life changes. It's so radically different. Now, you wouldn't change it for the world because, of course, there is a beautiful family that you're growing here and you're guiding the next generation. But, it can be that, you don't sleep very well. It can be that, right now, your life seems so different to what it once was. It just feels like something is radically new. And whilst you may celebrate some aspects of it, you may also lament other aspects of it. So, there can be a polarization, as it were, because you have the Ten of Pentacles there and you have the Ten of Swords. For some of you, this could be that you are retiring, and whilst it is the end of hard graft, you worked really hard for your finances and you're going to enjoy your retirement, it can be that sometimes you worry. You're anxious about the future, you're anxious about time, you're anxious about your projects, but I feel like, there is longevity here. There is an energy of freedom, of doing all the things you wanted to do, really enjoying yourself. This is your time. So, please apply it to your situation. It just feels with that Ten of Swords that you've been going through a lot of challenging thoughts, and this could be that you're trying to create some sort of structure in order to quieten the inner critic or conquer, intrusive thoughts that tear you down rather than raise you up. But you will go through this soul searching in order to conquer this at this time. The moon is in, the past position there, okay? And it says here, unconscious, unclear, and intuition. So a lot of you going through an awakening right now, and it can be that you're fostering a healthy relationship with your intuition, connecting to your higher self there. But doing a lot of soul searching means you go to some challenging places in your mind in order to really work out who you are, be true to yourself, what worked, what didn't work. Some of you may even be triggered to think about the times that, you were challenged and it didn't work out for you. Or, when something radically challenging came to an end for you, there was a sense of relief. But this figure right here is a conqueror. This person is standing in all their glory. So if you've been through challenges in the past, it feels very much like you are wearing those experiences as a measure of how far you've come, that you did it, you're still standing, and you are the conqueror in this situation. So with this moon energy, I feel like you are kind of making a declaration to self to kind of romance your life a little bit more, or really dig a little bit deeper to ask yourself, what is it you really want? You know, what is it that would bring you immeasurable joy? But that joy comes from within the self first. And this is a card of the self. A lot of you are literally either withdrawing, because I'm getting this energy of withdrawing from things in order to remove drama or simplify your life in some way, to do more things that you love, or spend your quality time, because the Ten of Pentacles is an investment. Okay, and this figure is investing in time, in decluttering their life. You know, walking into the ocean there is an energy of purifying life. So it can be that you're cutting a lot of things out right now that perhaps make you feel lethargic or drain your energy. The moon is a drain. So a lot of you, it can be, you know, the moon cannot shine all by itself. It is dependent on the sun to be illuminated. So you may be looking at, you know, your commitments right now and where people really need you in their life and whether there is a reciprocal exchange, how you feel about that. You may be looking at your finances because, of course, we've got a Ten of Pentacles there and a Four of Pentacles. You could be looking at a drain on your finances, calculating how much you need in order to build your legacy, your 401k, your pension pot. And, of course, that puts a lot of pressure on you with your mind there. It can be that there's just a lot going on, and for some of you, you could have been like suffering from the occasional migraine or, you know, tension, headaches, you know, stress in the neck and the shoulders recently. Because, I mean, I didn't choose the cards for you, my beautiful Taurians, and whoever I'm picking up on right now, you're going through a lot, or it feels like there's a lot on your mind, and it just feels like not scattered thoughts. I feel like they're very precise thoughts, but they are coming like a mile a minute. Like you're thinking about one thing, then you're on to the next, then you're on to the next, and it just feels like you're overloaded with a Ten of Swords. And I feel like you come to this point of epiphany where you're kind of like ending an old way of doing something, but on the other side is such an enriching life. So for some of you, you're being stricter with yourself to say, you know what, I got to cut this out. I need to walk away from this because there's something better on the other side. And the Ten of Pentacles is an indication that, yeah, there is. You're now investing in yourself. It feels like you're free in some way from something that was challenging you, overcame it, or, you know, you looked at it and said, you're not going to beat me. You're not going to, you know, dull my shine. So I feel very much like you're taking back your power. You're structuring your life in a different way, and it may feel like you're in the between stages, and it just feels hard to make that gear shift. Okay? Ten of Pentacles is legacy, inheritance, and culmination. Now, of course, I'm sending you all a huge hug out there. For some of you, not all of you, but some of you may have actually gone through a bereavement. And this is something that shook you to the very core of your soul. And if you have gone through this, because this is showing up as you are, you know, going through this right now. For some of you, not all of you. If you're not going through this, I want you to be aware it's not something to come, because that's all on this side, okay? This is something that's on the earthly plane right now. So if you are going through a bereavement, a lot of you could be sorting through probate, inheritance, and it just feels like you're a little bit on autopilot. You have stuff to do. You want to be in flight or fight mode because there's this energy of trauma response where you're in shock, or you're just like going through the motions of the practicalities of sorting through this, and you'd rather have the person on the physical plane. This person is with you in spirit, and they're really proud of you, is what I'm being given. And you're going to see a lot of signs and symbols. Interesting. I'm seeing two right now. I'm being shown a ladybug, and also, now I can't really see it because there's a whole bunch, okay? But it looks like, because you've got a Wheel of Fortune, maybe it is a 4-leaf clover, but it also looks like 3 leaves on some. So that could be like a shamrock, is it? So maybe there's a connection there. I'm not sure. Look out for 4-leaf clover, shamrock. Maybe they exist together in a painting or a symbol or a logo. Please apply it to your situation. Ask specifically for a message or a sign that you want to get that is personal to you. And of course, you'll get that. But I'm seeing those images right now. And yeah, when I look at the leaves, Some of them are 3 and some of them are 4. So maybe those numbers are important as well. So I'm just going to leave that there with a lot of love and respect there. I'm going to move away from this energy, but you're going to get lots of signs that this person watches over you. They send a lot of unconditional love. Even if the relationship was complex, you know, I feel that in moments of silence, you will feel their presence, okay? And of course, it will be a process, but I feel looking at all the cards here, they want you to enjoy your moment. They understand, you know, the earthly bound position where we grieve. They understand that. Ten of Swords can be a grieving card. And they want you to really kind of reflect on what you need, what you want, your path, and just be your magical self. And, you know, get out there and connect to the world again. Okay? So, again, that's a very specific message, may not resonate with all of you. With a lot of love and respect, I'm going to disconnect from that energy, okay? Now, the Ten of Pentacles, for everybody out there who's connecting to this reading, this is really like wanting to feel safe and secure, to know that you're building towards something. And of course, the Ten of Pentacles is all about investment in self, knowledge, you know, and your dedications. I feel like you're committed to something and you're dedicated to something that will benefit you in the long term. But also I feel this is about you kind of maybe even refocusing a lot of your dedications inwards to yourself, giving yourself a little bit more time because you're worth it, especially since we have the Wheel of Fortune. Now, what's interesting about this Wheel of Fortune, if you see that figure, they're looking in the mirror and there's no reflection there. So this can somehow connect to how some of you are feeling, that you're just existing right now and it just feels like some things, I mean, I feel like you're grateful for where you're at right now, even if it's challenging, because you're grateful for the things that you have. But you may feel like there hasn't been luck for a while, or you may feel, as I said, there's this sense of void where you're trying to rediscover yourself or redefine yourself in some way, and you're seeking clarity and guidance on the next steps on something. But you may be like reflecting on the life that you want to achieve or aspire to at this time. I mean, if you look at this mirror, you know, the mirror is literally in the desert. There's no water there, but this figure is seeing a vision in the mirror. Mirrors can be scrying tools as well as bodies of water there, and they're seeing an ocean. And they want to step through that mirror to the ocean. They want to get to that reflection of what they see their future as being. And the Ten of Pentacles is your potential position. This figure has literally now walked through that mirror and is now walking into the ocean. So it can be that your vision of what your future looks like is something that you are building right now and you're committed to it and you're going to make it happen. So if you're worried about anything about your future, or you know, you're worried about feeling this sense of isolation for some of you, or feeling a little bit lost, as I said, I feel like you are kind of like in that uncomfortable state where you are reimagining life, or you are undergoing a transformation in order to be your best self, or in order to lock on to the vision of what you want for your future. A lot of you also have, you know, extra family responsibilities at this moment in time, and you have this sense of duty and you're showing up. And, you know, you should be really proud of yourself for everything that you're going through right now. And I just feel like a lot of you, whoever I'm picking up on, you know, there is better luck to come. There is like a twist of fortune that's exciting. You're aware that, of course, that, you know, luck is easy come, easy go. But when it comes on in, I feel like you're going to be so grateful and so open to these opportunities. And a lot of you are looking at the hand you were dealt in life, and you're acknowledging that hand and saying, okay, do I twist? Do I fold? Do I, you know, shuffle the cards? What is it that I'm going to do? And I feel like there's this energy of like shuffling, you know, kind of like I'm getting this energy of adding and subtracting from your life, because these two cards are that right now. So it feels like you're changing your fortune, or you're doing something to radically shift or change your life. This is a subtraction, and this is an addition. So I feel like you're in that flow right now where you're cutting things out that just don't align with you anymore. Belief systems, people, situations, environments, and then, you know, you're open to adding new people or new scenarios, new money, new environments, new experiences, new everything. So I feel like you're in that period right now. And, we have underneath here fate, karma, and fortune. So a lot of you are breaking generational karma. And that is one of the most challenging things to do. So if there's been some sort of cycle repeat in your family lineage, it laid at your door as a responsibility to end it, to break that cycle. And that Ten of Swords tells me it's done. You did it. And you're celebrated by your ancestors and you're moving on. It's been challenging. You've been tested in so many different ways. You've been sent plot twists, but you're managing it all. And you should be really proud of yourself. Queen of Swords is an energy of being serious. So a lot of you may have responsibilities on your shoulders, but also you're calculating the next steps. Queen of Swords is all about strategy, planning, being direct. There's kind of an energy coming through here where it's, oof, gosh. Okay, so I got to give you what I'm being given. It's like you're building a life that you can live in. And if you don't do that, then you will almost be destroyed in someone else's version of what your life should look like. So this is you like taking back your power, as it were, redefining who you are, kind of really focusing on what you want, going after the things that you want, and not really being fit into a box of expectations of others, as it were. So it can be that, the time is now to choose. Who are you? What do you believe in? What do you want? If you don't choose those things, then those things will be thrust upon you and you'll just have to accept those things. So this seems like a very critical point in your life right now where you're being a little bit more precise about what it is that you want, more straightforward. You are a visionary, so you can see what it is you want and you will accomplish that. It's clear, but this is like, don't sit on the fence. Six of Swords is like, get busy living, get busy moving, or you'll sit in that stagnancy. And for some of you with that Ten of Swords, it can be that, you will be on autopilot and just life will just happen. It will just, be something that you're showing up to every single day, doing the same old thing. And of course, a lot of structure in our lives, very important to keep life running smoothly. But can you fit in the extra ingredients that you feel are missing from your life right now? And the answer is absolutely yes. And the universe is sending you a bit of a plot twist to be able to, welcome those ingredients in. But it says here, perceptive, clear-mindedness, complexity. So things I would say are a little bit complex for you right now, but it's really interesting because I feel like you're trying to simplify your life and it's complex before you can actually fully simplify your life. So for example, if you're someone who is moving out into nature, you want to perhaps be away from the hustle bustle of the city. For some of you, moving is going to be very complex. All your life is in boxes. You're still trying to run your life. It's time sensitive. It feels like a lot. It's overwhelming. You've got a lot on your mind. But when you get there and settle, it's the simplicity. It's the calmness. It's the settling of the whole experience. This can be the same of like if you're moving through some sort of personal challenge. It can be that it feels overwhelming at times and you feel overstimulated, especially since you have the swords there with that Ten of Swords. It can be a lot on your mind. It's very taxing. You are kind of mentally exhausted, as it were. But then when you move through this period and suddenly you're on the other side of it, you realize that all your efforts pay off and then there's peace of mind. It's like, and relax, it's all settling. So I feel on the other side of whatever it is you're going through right now, things are about to settle and they're going to feel more manageable and just working out the way you want it to. Everything is kind of taking shape, as it were. You are protected and directed at this time. But I feel you're being asked, what do you want? Be concise, see the vision. Speak it out into the universe. Queen of Swords is all about words, thoughts. Thoughts become things. Words are spellings. They're cast literally out into the universe to connect to vibrations of what you aspire to achieve or be in your future. Your future self already has these things. They're already in a vibration of existing in this moment. You just got to tap into it and call that version of you in. And this is about being very clear. Also, the Queen of Swords can indicate a person who has gone through a very challenging breakup or divorce or even being widowed or going through a bereavement. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. Of course, grief no matter what kind of grief it is, because there's so many different layers, whether you're grieving a part of your old life, whether you're grieving a person, a neighborhood, a situation, or the world itself, because it seems to have turned on its head and seems like it's just very uncertain and just like you just don't know anymore. You're like, what's the truth of the situation? Everyone's shouting into the void. What is the real crux of it? How can we make things better? So whatever it is for you, whatever level of sorrow, sadness, or challenge, I feel structure is going to work really well for you because, of course, the Queen of Swords is a card of structure. That's your advice to yourself at this moment in time. Build a structure, keep yourself secure, okay? But, of course, there is this energy of, like, needing to dip outside the structure or move on from it, because it can be something that was a protective measure or kept you in a position where you feel it's run its course, if that makes sense. So I feel this is about you strategizing for your future. I mean, you're someone who's very well organized, but this is like clarity of purpose. What are the missing ingredients? When you decide what those missing ingredients in your life are, the universe is going to offer them to you. This is the circumstances outside of yourself. We've got the Ace of Cups. So, for example, being clear about what sort of relationship you want if you're searching for love. Really see that person, what they kind of look like, the sort of traits they have. Imagine yourself going on a date with this person, like you are literally going on a date with them right now. Visualize the sort of experience you want to have with that person, and you will literally call that person into being. I flippantly once said to a friend that I wanted to, meet someone like a performer on the TV. I was watching a show and the character wasn't very nice, which was unfortunate. I should have really thought about all the details, and that was a very big learning lesson for me, okay? But I flippantly said, I'd love to be meeting a person like that. I was very attracted to that person. I thought, they're awesome. A couple of months later, the universe sent me a person who was near identical to what the performer looked like and the character's name. And I was like, what? Like the first name, not the surname, but the first name of the character. I met a person in real life who was more or less identical, and unfortunately nearly identical to the character as well. And the character did not play a great character in the show. I mean, the actor was great, but the traits of the character within the show, within the confines of the story, not a great person. And that was reflected back to me. So I feel this is something that you are currently, focused on, looking at your words and how they start to reflect back to you the life that you are living right now. And, I feel this is about you perhaps changing a mindset as well. And that's not going to resonate with all of you, but, I feel this is something that perhaps you're thinking about doing. The Ace of Cups is something being offered to you. And, of course, the Cup of Love starts with the self first. So this is self-love, unconditional love for self, feeling comfortable in your own skin, really kind of, remembering yourself, as it were. And it says here, new feelings, spirituality, intuition. Ten of Swords is very detached. Same as the Queen of Swords there. Detachment, discernment, feeling like life is on autopilot, like you're just getting up there and just doing it. And you're like, well, what else? So this is new feelings. Suddenly, if you felt like you've been laying dormant for a while, this is you kind of like coming to life or rediscovering something new that, fosters passion and a spark within your soul. Now, this can be a relationship, a new relationship with a person or a friend or an experience, but suddenly something is going to come into your life. I mean, these two cards are very exciting because you're destined to have this new experience or this new moment, and it's going to be very fulfilling for you. So I'm quite excited. It feels like things are going to change. But in your hope and fear position, we have the Page of Swords. Now, Page of Swords is all about curiosity, but also it can be hypervigilance. Okay, so it can be that, you have been in fight or flight mode. You may be learning more about that within yourself. What causes you anxiety? What is the trigger? Is it something that occurred in the world a couple of years ago? Is it something personal to you? Is it just challenge itself? Is it an event? Is it an experience? Whatever it is, you may be looking at it from a different angle so that you can process it and let it go finally. But this card, it says curiosity, restlessness, and mental energy. So you may be looking at your thoughts themselves to see, do they build you up or tear you down? But also, You may feel that things that you once knew just don't hit in the same way. Maybe they don't feel the same way. You just feel this detachment, like you're uninterested in those things, because this card is in the resistance position as well as the upright. So this is now where the universe triggers your curiosity to see what's new out there. A new hobby, new cause, a new way of thinking, a new group of people, a new environment, a new job, a new way of living. So this is you being curious about what you feel like you need right now and exploring that, taking the first step to get out there and experience it. You know, you could be in research mode right now, and, you know, you may be like looking at a lot of things right now, and you're like, which one really fits my situation? Which one benefits me the most? And you're going to lock onto two things that really bring you a lot of joy. One that you like invest in, perhaps financially. So this could be like you take up a subscription of something, or it could be that you invest in a group of people with your time. It could also be that you pay to go to a certain event and you foster it and you kind of nurture a skill set or, a connection or commitment to something. But ultimately, whatever it is, you're going to love it. You've got the Knight of Pentacles there, the Knight of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. So a lot of you also may be looking at worry, because the Four of Pentacles can be that you're conserving your energy and not worrying about things that you have no control over, because that's wasted energy. You may be, deflecting your energy elsewhere where it's better suited to nurture your life in some way. If we always think about the worst case scenario, we're going to be at our wit's end. You're literally going to rob the joy out of every moment, worrying about every single thing that could happen in the world. Because of course, every single thing in the world could happen. But looking at the energy, you're secure, you're protected. So if you are going through something right now that is very challenging and very sensitive, again, I'm sending you a huge hug out there. But with this Knight of Pentacles, there's an energy here of investing in your life. Yes, things are hard. You're working hard to maintain and sustain your life. You are secure. You may feel that things have come to a bit of a standstill in your life, but some aspects of that are positive. A lot of you with the Knight of Pentacles, you could be focused on your body or doing small things for yourself that help you feel more invested in yourself there. Also, this is an energy of feeling stable, of being patient and trying to discover. Society kind of fast tracks everything these days, where it's like, you must be doing this, you must discover this, the answer is there. But sometimes we can take time. Sometimes, if we invest in a moment, the more we invest in it, the more valuable it becomes. Doing something that you can feel calm and invested in, like taking a walk in the park. You can go for some quick steps in the park and get it over and done with, or you can really linger and be thoughtful and feel the connection around you, the trees, the rustle in the leaves. I mean, we don't always have the luxury of being able to do that, of course, but this is about fostering time in order to enjoy a moment. And it says here, efficiency, hard work, and responsibility. That's always going to be there. That's life. That's the structure that's been built that we were all born into. And of course, a lot of you are trying to be financially free. I feel like, you're halfway there. You may not feel like it, but you're on the way to this financial freedom, this financial independence. Okay. And, there's always going to be something to work on. So I feel the Knight of Cups is you may as well love what that is. So if you're questioning your job right now, I feel the answer, of course, is within you, but it's do you love it? Are there aspects that you really love, and do they kind of outweigh the things you don't love right now? If you're in a position where you're should I stay? Should I go? This could be a question about your neighborhood, about your relationship, about a friendship. You're looking at the pros and cons of something that you've invested in as well. But also you're distancing yourself from anything that doesn't promote healthy environments for you, or doesn't feel like it's working towards your sense of purpose, because you have that Queen of Swords as your advice to yourself in this moment. And the Queen of Swords, she has purpose, okay? And it says here, romantic, following one's heart, and idealistic. Now, of course, this is about focusing on the most ideal situation for you as an outcome, and then romancing your life or setting things in motion to follow your heart. Your heart knows the way. Now, we'll always have a head over heart moment, and you may have been living in your head for a lot of the time. Your heart is whispering. It is saying, listen, I know best. The heart will always win. It will always come back to the heart. okay? And I feel even if we take a route that feels like the safe bet, we'll always yearn for the woulda, coulda, shoulda moment. And, you may as well explore what you feel is right for you in that moment and be intuitive, because you're very instinctual. You actually know. Deep in you, you know. So if you're going through this soul-searching phase right now, the answers are within you. They're not outside of yourself. You can be guided. You can ask for advice. You can get people's opinion, but ultimately, your heart knows the way, okay? And the Four of Pentacles, whatever path you take, it is the path towards your personal happiness. Also, the Four of Pentacles indicates taking ownership of your time, investing in yourself, and knowing that you are secure. This is about conserving your energy for things that are truly important and not wasting time on worrying about something that could happen in the future or you feel is uncertain. This is about like launching ourselves into the moment and really living. So it says here, conservation, security, and fragility, okay? Oh, my guide said frugality. I'm wearing my glasses as well. Oh my gosh, my guides are right. It is frugality. Okay, so this is conserving your finances as well. But perhaps fragility is something that maybe you're looking at as well. That life, we're here but a breath in life. And we're here to experience. That's our mission. And experience we should. So I feel, maybe you're thinking about those thoughts at this time, and maybe it's something you're going through, but whatever it is that you are going through that is a challenge or has been testing you, I feel like you're moving through it, and you're going to secure the right path towards happiness within that situation. Whatever the best outcome is for you, you shall have it. And I feel this kind of indicates a lot of you are upgrading your life because, this is the pathway to more stability, more fun, more happiness, but it is a path that relies on your hard work and following your heart, romancing your life a little bit more, showing up for yourself, not just for others, but also for yourself, doing the right thing for you. This is about protecting your energy, protecting your time, trusting that you're on the right path, not neglecting your own needs. You're the sort of friend who would never neglect another person, so why have you been and this is not going to resonate with all of you, but maybe life has been challenging. It's been hard. It's been fast-paced. A lot of you may not have had time to give back to yourself. It's time to refocus and prioritize you because you are the starting card in that spread, okay? So that's coming out there. May not resonate with all of you, but that's something that's just popped out there for this particular energy reading, and doesn't always have to be your reading. Doesn't always have to resonate, but I hope something does resonate in that reading there. I mean, the moon is giving me really strong vibes in your reading as being true to yourself. Reflecting on what it is that you want, what is possible. So I'm just going to go and get some final cards. We have another 4 there. Lots of numerical synchronicities. And number 4, of course, is a solid foundation to feel secure. The structure. When you build the structure in life, it should be there as a platform, as a springboard to more, rather than a confinement or a limitation. Do you know what I mean? Building a routine or structure in life, it's there to help us rather than hinder us. So if you feel some sort of structure has become a hindrance, this is about making an adjustment and releasing yourself from that. So we have solid foundation, number 4. And it says here, with every step you take, you're strengthening the roots of your foundation, and your unwavering beliefs are propelling you forward towards boundless success. All about your belief in yourself and your path. And it says, your angels encourage you to stay centered and grounded. With steadfast devotion and persistence, you will bring your long-term aspirations to fruition. That's literally what this whole reading's about. You aligning with the version of yourself and the lifestyle that you aspire to achieve. You're on course for that. We've also got patience there, okay? It's not going to be easy. It is, a long journey, but you are capable of making it happen. And it says here, when the winds of uncertainty blow and the mind races with indecision, so that could be that card there for you, remember to slow down and surrender to where you are right now. Cultivate patience in your soul, as I said, taking a moment and enjoying it, letting it linger. It says, Cultivate patience in your soul, for it is in the stillness between actions where the seeds of profound growth are sown. Slow down, breathe deeply, and trust that all is well. And all is well, okay? I want you to be aware of that. I do apologize for the sound outside. My neighbor has their children out in the yard, so they're just like exploring a part of the yard there. So hope it's not too loud on the microphone for you. But finally, your trinket, I'm loving this, we have the symbol for peace, for unity, for togetherness, for everything working in synchronistic order in your life, simplifying, coming home to self, perhaps. So I'll leave that there. You may even see that symbol over the next coming weeks or months there as a reinforcement of this reading. And if you'd like to be in with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put an emoji of a candle in the comments box below. And if you haven't got an emoji candle, all you have to do is write the word candle, and my guides will draw me to one subscriber to win that free personal reading. And I'll announce the winner at the end of September there. Okay. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Taurians. Thank you so much, and love and light.